Following a meeting of Nigerian Governors Forum, where we deliberated on the national minimum wage, after a briefing from our representative and referred committee, we submitted as follows. The welfare of all Nigerians is our ultimate concern in all over the state. We are concerned about the infuriating economic situation experienced by vulnerable segment of our population. It is therefore considered position that since the percentage of salaries workers is not more than 5% of the total working population, our position must not just reflect a figure, but a sustainable strategy based on the ability and capacity to pay, as well as reflective of all developmental needs in each state. It is in this sense that we feel strongly that acceptable minimum wage must be done in a manner that the total personnel costs does not exceed 50% of the total revenue available to each state. Governors therefore agree to pay a national minimum wage of 22,500 naira only. Thank you.
Welcome back. Gentlemen, you heard the Governor Iyari there speaking of the mind of his colleagues. But one of the things he said was, we understand that the welfare of the people is paramount. But to ensure that we follow through on this, we can only, and then so that we can consistently, we're able to do this consistently, we can only do 22,500. That's their commitment. But what do we do going forward? Let's begin with you.
You know,
excuse me.
You know, I'm like, I have held something and I need to keep holding it. The pool of resources that comes in will always determine how much you're going to pay. Right. So if I was government, I would get a lot much more innovative. I will think out of the box. I will think beyond the FAC account. What he is offering is based on, if you go and check, he has done his mathematics. He has modeled it.
It's not him. It's his,
I mean, it's him that we are seeing, which means he represents the governors. What they're doing is based on, they have done their maths, they've done their calculations, and if whatever we're getting from the government out of this, this is what we're going to do. My take is this: move away from certain assignments, certain things, so that the private sector can deal with them. They are better positioned to deal with certain things that government is dealing with. There are certain investments that states are making that if they empowered or brought the necessary credible environment, the private sector will be properly incentivized.
You're talking private, you've talked about private sector of several times now, but are they treating their workers better?
But at least they're paying better.
Some of them are not paying up to minimum wage.
No. Well, you know, if I, what I mean by private sector is this. If a private sector person is not paying his staff pretty well, it will show immediately. Because the argument is if you pay peanuts, you will have monkeys as workers. So it will pay on his bottom line. It will show clearly. And when I mean private sector, I mean the organized private sector. They know that the critical element to their growth and to the expansion is the people. So they invest heavily in them. All I'm saying here is that as long as government, you know, just as he was saying, they use the money for frivolities and move around. And when they appear, they say, my people, my people. Then you will shout, my governor. And they will be spending all their, you know, they're threatening the monies away. This will keep happening. So government must come to, people must come to a place where they put pressure on government in conjunction with the legislature and in a national manner format, bring this restructuring to bear. let us move it. You know, it's because of this low-hanging fruit. That's why people are following politicians up and down. The 5,000 naira to 2,000, they want to eat today. For tomorrow, we don't know what shall become of us. And that is why we cannot join in that kind of conversation. The water is already polluted. What we're saying, how do we clear this morass? Which is, and I keep talking about it, let our people begin to engage those who say they want to lead them and query their vision. The pyramid of vision is that, strategy drives vision. A model drives a strategy. Action plans, you need to ask them those questions. If you say you're going to look at the ease of doing business, Nigeria is now 146. If you look at the various components of it, you will see why you are that number. If they said the clarity of electricity tariff, they say it's zero. They can't understand how it works. I went to Rwanda a month ago. You enter in and you come out, no visa. No, I'm not talking about visa on arrival. So how will you compete with them? All major conferences are going there. And these are the things that will enable your people to be on their own and not put the amount on the feeding bottle that's coming from Abuja. Expand the sphere of governance by empowering the people so that you have enough to deal with the fundamentals that you need to deal with. This is my take. The way government is presently structured is a fleece. It's a business to some people. And that's why a majority of the people are beginning to, rear for air. So they need to recalibrate it. That's my thinking.
Okay. I'll take it.
4 hashtags. 4. 1, change the music. We've come to a point where we have become the poverty capital of the world. Common sense tells us that we should recalibrate, change the music. 2, hashtag 2, go low profile. It's just commonsensical that when we had, we could. Now we don't, we can't. Go low profile, everybody. Number 3, shut down and shut out. Shut down all the waste stages. Shut down all the drain pipes. Do a surgical analysis on your lifestyle and your operations. And shut out. This is the most important, most interesting part. Do you know that I want to see one governor now who is campaigning that Abuja is helping? Office of the President, the presidents, these, the National Assembly, all these people that come in and collect all the money that should have been going to your people, where they will be empowered and they will pay tax on, and their internally generated revenue will come up. All these things go to Abuja. Every governor goes to bow to these, I don't want to give titles. These people are, use a hard word, leeches and parasites. They don't help your state. Shut out Abuja. Shut out Abuja. You don't need it. And I talk as an enlightened person who knows about the presidency, who knows about the country. Let every governor go back home. Concentrate with your people. Imagine that a state that has as much as a budget of 300 to 400 billion. Imagine that 50% of that money is spent in that state. Imagine what state that state would be. But you have all people coming into your state, taking these things away, capital flight, and all your people do is because you want to be relevant in Abuja. Now election time has come. How many of them are relevant to you? You are going back to the people who have been waiting like this. They are impoverished. They can't even help you. Okay? So shut down the wastages, shut out the parasites. And the final is, it is possible. It is possible for you to pay a living wage. It is possible for you to provide basic infrastructure. Let every governor shut down the governor's lodge in Abuja and open a governor's lodge in every local government. Do you know that when I live in Uyo, the Ikono local government chairman will live in Ikono? But when I'm always in Abuja, the Ikono local government chairman will be always in Uyo. Do you understand me? So let's reverse the trend. Let every governor go back and live at home. And imagine a governor who has a lodge in all the local governments, and every weekend from Friday, he's staying in this local government. The next weekend, he's going to another local government. He will not be getting reports. He'll be seeing things himself. And the local government chairman will be compelled. And that is when development will start. Let labor, on a final note, forget this running around with government. Call all the people who want to be governors, interrogate them. Look at their personality. What character have you been? What do I know about you? Because you see, I saw a picture of the president, just humorously, and I laughed. He wore a jacket and a bow tie. And I said, this is not my president, right from time. And immediately after the campaign, I've not seen the president in a jacket and a bow tie. I want to know who you are, who you have been, and not what the political face is. If you're a thief, you're a thief, man. You got to, when you become a governor, you're going to be a thief, an enhanced thief. So let Labour go back to interrogate all the people that are going to superintend over them over the next 4 years. If they do that, forget this, the strike and everything, because it's just going to be temporary thing. They're going to tell you one thing. And finally, let the governors accept the minimum wage
of
30,000 that they've said. My advice to the governors is accept it. Go back home. This is election time. Be real with your people. When they see the figures, they will accept with you.
All right, thank you very much. That's a good place to leave it. Architect Ezekiel Etok, founder of Nigeria First Project, and Pascal Odibo, country director, Jeff and O'Brien. Thank you, gentlemen, for sharing your thoughts.
Thanks for having me.
Sunrise Daily will be back in a moment. Please don't go away.